Welcome to the Stone and Wood Update Show, a big morning of competition, and we know we're going to have new winners here at Bells for 2025 on both the men's and women's side. Surfers ready to write their name into the history books here. Felicity Palmatier, because this is the most iconic trophy. It's the event that everyone wants to win. You get on the list here, the winners list, you're remembered forever.
Yeah, I mean, the history behind this event is major, right? And I think when you qualify for the tour, there's a few events that everyone wants to win, and this is definitely one of them. And to hear that we're going to have a new winner is pretty exciting.
Yeah, we got that last year, Rich. It's again, it's been a really impressive push from some of the battlers on the CT this year that haven't had it all go their own way, and they're coming on at the perfect time to try and save their place too on the championship tour.
Yeah, absolutely. Just and slingshotting themselves into this Aussie leg with really good vibes, really good energy, and it's going to be super exciting over the next month or two.
We kick things off with the completion of the quarterfinals for the men. And it was a great matchup to start the day. Griffin Colapinto made the final here last year. Fleck had to be the favourite going into this one against Sammy Pupo, but you haven't really been able to invest in any form so far in this event, probably up until now.
Yeah, I think I've actually really loved what I've seen from Griff, though. I think back to yesterday, the performances I've seen, I think he is in form. And I think, for me, it's hard to not pick him right now because, I mean, you just looked at this, the claim, the airbender claim, sorry, it just gets me every time. But this was a hard matchup, and Sammy fought back. Sammy fought back real hard. He did drop the 8-point ride with this big sort of carve into tail slide. And he asked the question of Griff because Griff was sort of running away. A couple of 7s, a 9.4. I think Griff's in great form. Yeah,
no, I wasn't questioning his form in this event. I was questioning the trend that we saw in the top half of the draw, where the form surfers, our picks for the contest, got bundled out in the quarters. Griff has kind of got the favourites back on track.
Yeah, and well, he hasn't been having the greatest of years, but you know, Griff, the word I think about is just steady and so sure-footed through each of his rides. He's just clinically gone about his business. Timing has been impeccable, getting to the finish manoeuvre on every single one of his waves, and he had 2 7s in that heat, an 8 and then a 9. So if that's shades of things to come this afternoon, he could be the one to beat.
And Sammy pushed him, Flick. It was a great battle.
Yeah, Sammy did push him, and you know what? This is a great result for Sammy. Sammy's needed this, and he was down that bottom of the rankings before we came into Bells, and I mean, this is going to be an important result. Still running away with a quarterfinal finish is good. I mean, Griff, though, wow. You know what? The word that comes to mind is polished. He just looks like he's got a bit more pizzazz than everyone. Everyone's, you know, got the big cars, the big swoop downs, but for me, he's got that point of difference because he's going up into the lip. He's getting the fin release, even when it's quite big on the bowl today.
Yeah, big and bumpy. That was sort of how he performed here last year, Rich. He definitely kind of surfed with a bit more flow than everyone in the draw. Didn't come away with the win, though. So it felt like there was a little bit more punch in those big major moments when he got the sections that really stood up.
Yeah, and you know, just patiently waiting for the moment on the wave to explode, and that's what Griff does so well. He makes somewhat erratic conditions look really smooth and certainly composed, and this is a comeback event for him. He's back where we expect him to be. And, well, he's got a really, really hard semi-final draw, though. That's going to be a really nice one to watch.
Some amazing stories for the individuals left in the running for the 62nd edition of the Rip Curl Pro Bells Beach, presented by Bonsai Kaipo. Great semi-final matchups to look forward to.
Oh, you caught me mid-froth right now. And what am I frothing over? There's so much stuff to froth over, but right now, I'm frothing over the upcoming semifinals. Kanoa Igarashi coming against Morgan Siblick. And look at this one. Griffin Colapinto up against Jack Robinson. That's something to froth over. I did the analytics. I crunched the numbers. There's a 25% chance that one of these guys are going to ring the bell.
We love that. We know that there hasn't been any head-to-head heats between Morgan and Kanoa, so that's going to be interesting to watch unfold. The wildcard story here has, you know, produced some great performances over the years, Rich, and it's shaping up to be another one for Morgan.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and we've seen Mick Fanning win the event, coming in as a wild card, and you know, they come in without pressure. They come in with a freak opportunity to rewrite history, and I feel like that's how Morgan's been competing through this whole event. He's not new to Championship Tour format or events. You know, he feels comfortable here. Certainly got the support of the crowd and his sponsor down here as well. So he's going to have some momentum behind him when we kick this thing back off.
And then in that second semi-final, a bit of history between Griffin and Jack, and it all is kind of going into Griff's favour at the moment. So he's trying to turn that around. Jack will be trying to turn that around.
He will be. And you know what? It's funny. Vorno was trying to, you know, kind of get some answers out of Jack in the post-interview, and he's like, Jack just said, yeah, I know he's got 2 up on me, you know, and yeah. And it just fired up because this rivalry between those two has been going on for quite a while. You know, I even think back to Fiji last year, and I think Griff even mooned Jack halfway through his heat, you know. It's actually, they're just silly, you know, they're silly. They're not taking it too seriously, but that rivalry is definitely there. And I'm looking forward to this because they've both been in form, but Griff, to me, just seems like he might have that little edge.
Hopefully they go silly with their performances in that semi-final clash. Luana Silva, Briea, Hennessy fighting it out for a place in the final this year. Luana already achieving her best result as a Championship Tour campaigner, and she stepped it up again.
Yeah, she did. She stepped it up because Briea, to me, we're trying to, you know, work out the differences between them because I think there's a lot of similarities between Luana and Briea's surfing and their strengths. For me, I was thinking that maybe Briea was going to go up into the lift. She got a couple of nice waves early on, but Luana just connected with a couple of big ones. I mean, for me, this has to be the biggest wave surfed in the whole entire contest. She banks a couple of turns here, and she drops this 517, I believe. But it was the wave after this. She ends up dropping a 7, and really, just the pace to her approach here is really beautiful. She's not trying to rush anything. And I'm stoked to see her crack that final because it's sort of a sliding doors moment, this event in her career, to really believe in herself that she can make it into the semis and the final.
Oh, and it was looking, you know, heartbreakingly close to being flipped in the final stages too. You don't want to leave Briea chasing a 6-point ride and give her priority and the lineup. She almost lost that semi-final but held on for an important heat win.
Yeah, at this level, you can make a mistake and it so easily can get snatched away from you. She was lucky. She maintained the victory there, but for me, she was really powering through her turns, driving through them. Briea tended to steer her turns a little bit more in that heat, but solid points on the board for Luana Silva, and I think she surprised herself really, making the final at Bells. A dream come true, becoming a reality for her. Now she needs to settle. You know, it's a big moment making the final. You are so close. Got one hand on the trophy, and there's some mental game within you that you need to overcome.
Yeah, and she's going to be up against Isabella Nichols in that final. Isabella's closed out an event before over at Margaret River. And she'll be a tough draw for Luana, who'll have to, again, be on a game, be mistake-free, and keep bringing those big performances, because Isabella's on a special run here, Rosie.
Oh, back-to-back finals, Ronnie, and the opportunity to ring a bell. How does that statement resonate with you?
Oh man, it's making me emotional just thinking about it. Like, I got so close to owning a bell a couple years ago, and regardless of if it's the grande or the small size, like, I'm gonna have a bell at home now. So I'm speechless, and hopefully we get some fun waves to the final. Lulu's been ripping, like this wave suits her surfing so much, and I guess we just go home now, decompress and reset for the next one.
And we know how much you missed your family in El Salvador. You have your parents here on the sand supporting you. How nice is it to have that connection?
My parents are my lucky charm down here. Every time they come, I always seem to like get through heat. So, you know, we have a little routine of before my heat, I run down, I find them, I give them a hug, and then they're there on the shore for me when I come in. And it's just special, you know, like this place feels like home to me, and to have so many friends and family here, it just, words can't describe like how special this place is.
And, you know, Steph Gilmore had a board in one of her world title years that she nicknamed the Cash Cow DHD. You've got this board that's seen you into 2 finals. I mean, that equipment's looking so good.
Man, this board is my cash cow. I actually called it that in my post-heat interview yesterday afternoon too, and I was like, I probably can't call it that because Steph's got the rights on that. But no, it's funny how like some boards just find you at the right time in your career, and I feel like I was in a little bit of a slump, and I think for me, like finding a little bit more length through my rail has been a big game changer for me, and I feel like it's opened up my surfing. It's slowed it down as well, so it's not so rushed, and it's made me have to pick the right waves, because it doesn't work if I have a small wave to surf it on, so I know I have to be on a set, and I think that's the point of difference this year. And I'm going to get back in the shaping bay with DH Monday morning and put that thing under his arm, and hopefully we can get some copies of it made.
And I have one more question for you, because you've always been in that conversation of the cut. Right now you've made back-to-back finals. How much freedom are you finding not have to worry about that?
It's crazy, like come the start of this week, like I was still worrying about the cut. Obviously we've got, you know, it's weird, we've got the 14 cut and the 10 cut, and obviously I want to make the 10 cut because I want to go surf J-Bay and all those fun waves and trestles and all that. So to make back-to-back finals, like even still in my mind, it's not done. You know, there's so many amazing surfers, and I feel like especially this event, there's been a lot of like girls below the cut that have actually come back and got results. So the field's wide open. I mean, one more heat win would make it a little bit nicer.
Well, Isabella, thank you so much for your time. We've got a lot to look forward to, guys. We'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Rosie. It'll be the first time that Isabella and Luana meet in a championship tour heat head-to-head. So new history will be created there in this new rivalry. It is our Hydrolite heat to watch, the women's final. Luana Silva chasing her first championship tour win, already on her way to her greatest finish in a CT event. Isabella after win number 2, and she is looking super confident, sounding so confident, isn't she?
This is going to be tough for Luana, I think, just with the momentum that we've seen from Isabella, the demeanour in her post-heat interviews, the confidence she has in her equipment, and just the experience here on the bowl. It's going to be tough. It's not out of the question, but I think it will be tough for Luana.
Yeah, and both World Junior champs from years gone by. Kind of quite a ways apart. But it's going to be fun to watch that battle. Really similar weapons for these two surfers, big rail turns that they can go to. Both have that capability of getting up into the pocket and laying down some big, powerful turns, so that's going to be fun. But again, we had all the women on the championship tour inspiring a new generation down here at the 62nd running of the Rip Curl Pro Bells Beach, presented by Bonsoy. Let's check out this Rising Tides piece.
Good morning from Bells Beach. We're here with all the amazing up-and-comers. We're about to go rip the Bells Bowl.
The waves are pumping and these guys are ready to go shred, yeah? Oh, yeah. It's going to be new.
We live here and I reckon it's really fun. Surf with the pros. 110%. 111%.
Not only do we have our next generation coming down and meeting all of our top pros, but they get to share the lineup with them. Vibes are high. Rising Tides. The long-term goal of Rising Tides is to develop our next generation of women. We'd love to see them on the tour, and if they're just surfing every day with their friends, that's also great.
The energy was so contagious. All the grooms were just like smiling ear to ear. I had a ball, surf rings around me, but that was so sick.
Everyone was going everywhere.
Very oversized head. So big.
I reckon you'll be comfortable out here in no time.
Really fun! Surfing and watching everyone rip.
I saw you in the cold one.
It was good.
To be in the water surrounded by this energy and that rising tide of women is so special. I never had that at their age. Just to feel so welcomed is what it's all about.
Rising Tide!
Oh, you'd love to see it, Flick. We witnessed that session. The Groms were absolutely loving their time out there. It was pretty sizey for them too.
Yeah, pretty sizey. I think, you know, we've obviously got the stories of, you know, Erin Brooks in those Rising Tide programs now on tour, but I think the most important thing to take away from that is just surfing's such a great sport, and it just brings you together, and to have that for those young women, just feel confident in the water. It's just so special, and stoked to see it at every World Tour stop.
Couple of awesome moments, Rich, where the world's best, they're out there warming up, but they're, you know, giving way to these kids. We saw Crosby Colapinto cheering on one of the little Groms, and we saw Sally Fitzgibbon sharing a ride with the kids. Rides that they'll never forget.
Oh, look, it's those moments there that will turn some of these girls into pro surfers, no doubt about it. It's the little nudge they needed to feel that energy of the pro surfers and to share a lineup. Like, I think back to my days and, you know, growing up and seeing Barton Lynch or Rob Bain, and you'd be like, oh, that's what I want to do. So, yeah, really special moments down here at Bells. You love to see it. Well, we've got a call at 1:15 for a possible start at 1:35, but right now we are going to leave you with Inside Pro Surfing, highlights from the 2024 Rip Curl Pro here at Bells Beach. Enjoy.